This is Cody Johnson with 88.1 WNS New Albany. I'm joined today with music legend Richard Sturban. He sings bass for the iconic country quartet, the Oak Ridge Boys, who were inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame back in 2015. Mr. Sturban, thanks for joining us today.
Well, Cody, it's my pleasure to be able to talk to you, and I'm certainly excited about talking to your fine listeners out there as well.
The Oak Ridge Boys will be coming to Louisville to play this weekend at the State Fair. This marks the 43rd year the group has played here. What kind of reception keeps you all coming back year after year?
Well, you know, the Kentucky State Fair is a very special place for the Oak Ridge Boys. And as you mentioned, this will be our 43rd consecutive year, which first of all, that's mind-boggling. That's a record that I don't think will ever be broken again. I don't know if any act will come back to the Kentucky State Fair for 43 consecutive years, but we have, and we're looking forward to coming back. You know, it's a great place to play. The people in Louisville and the surrounding area there in Kentucky are like family to the Oak Ridge Boys. They treat us like we're members of their family, and the reception is just outstanding every year. It's an annual stop of ours. Is the highlight of our summer every year. And so this year will be no exception. So we're looking forward to coming back. And I can speak for all of the Oak Ridge Boys, and I can tell you, we plan to have a great time. We're going to do our best once again to make it a great night. It's a great night every year we're there, and we plan for more of the same this year. Looking forward to coming back. So if you haven't made your plans yet, you know, make plans now to come on out on Sunday night and spend some time with the Oak Ridge Boys.
Some casual fans might not realize you were part of J.D. Sumner's group that backed him up in the 70s. Near the end of Elvis's life, there was a book written by some of his bodyguards. In it, one of the descriptions of Elvis is that he was a habitual prankster. You talk about one of those instances in your autobiography, From Elvis to Elvira. Can you recap the incident that happened in Las Vegas Hilton Suite early in your time with him?
Well, you know, you're right about that. You know, and people have asked me about that. You know, quite a bit over the course of the years. And you're right. Elvis was a prankster. He loved playing practical jokes. And that particular incident that you're talking about is probably the best practical joke I think he's ever played on anyone. You know, we were working in Las Vegas. You know, I was with J.D. Sumner and the Stamps back then. And after a show, Elvis actually did 2 shows back in those days. And between shows, he wanted us to come up to his suite. He told us that you know, he's had people threaten his life in the past, but they really think this is the real thing this time. So he wanted us to come up to his suite, and Sonny Red and Red, you know, Sonny West and Red West, his 2 bodyguards, they were going to, you know, give us some instructions. So we got to his suite, and he started, you know, Sonny and Red said, you know, this, you know, Elvis has had threats before, but we feel like this is the real thing. So we said, we want you to look out during the course of the show. We want you to look out over the audience, and if you see anybody that looks suspicious, we want you to let either Sonny or Red know. Sonny and Red will be on the sides of the stage, and while they're describing that to us, the door of the suite opens, and this guy comes running through the door of the suite, and he says, "Presley, I'm going to get you." He starts shooting. He starts actually firing a gun. The security guards that were all there as well, they were part of the joke. They pulled their guns out, and they started firing back at this guy, and bullets were flying all over the suite. And I drove under a table. I just knew I was going to die. And J.D. Sumner, he jumped on top of Elvis, and at that point, we knew it was a joke because Elvis was laughing so hard he could not contain himself. But it was such a real experience. I mean, I remember by the time we got to the second show that night, it was such a real joke, I was still shaking.